Hey there, welcome back to another chapter of Why I Hate LG Appliances. Today we're working on this range, and you can see the oven control knob fell off. This looks like it's probably, I don't know, it's some sort of a plastic. It looks sort of like Bakelite, but it just fell apart, and then the piece that sticks out, the stem I guess, I don't know what the hell you'd call it, but it just, basically fell off when I was trying to take it apart. So it's interesting that this is all plastic, but if you look at one of these other ones, these ones are metal. They look like brass or something. This one, of course, controls the oven. This one has dual ovens, so this controls both of them. And so now both the ovens are out of commission. This turns, but it doesn't affect anything here, so I don't know what the hell's going on. I don't know if this is something that's just plastic that we can replace. It's undoubtedly got some sort of a potentiometer or some sort of a sender control board underneath here. So we got to figure that out. It's got 4 screws here that are holding it in, but we got to get to the back side somehow. Again, all unknown. First we have to see if we can find this part, get it ordered, and then we'll figure out how to take it apart and replace it. So let's go find the part. So the first challenge with these LGs is finding out what the part number is. They don't seem to put the part number anywhere on the appliance. This one has a sticker underneath the upper door. It's got a couple of different part numbers on it. I don't know what their part number's for because they certainly aren't the part number for the actual stove. What I ended up doing was going over to Home Depot's website, finding something that looked right. So this looks right here, and then on it has this thing here which has full product manual, so you click on it and that takes us to this, and then here we go, this looks correct. So then I scroll back to the top of this document, and this gives me this LTG 4715 and then 2 stars. Those 2 stars are probably something like the material it's made from, color, I don't know. But it's an LTG 4715. So we know that is the part number, so now we have to go find parts for it. For finding parts, I actually kind of like this Sears Parts Direct site. I don't have any, sponsorship or anything from them. It's nice because they give you these exploded views and then you can drill down to find your part. So if I do the LTG 4715, you can see there are 3 different ones. I don't know what the difference between them is, but if we just select one, I don't care about that. Alright, so of course this picture looks wrong, but I think that's just a general, this is a stove from LG picture maybe? I don't know. At any rate, we've got these exploded views, which is nice. So I can take this and I go, this looks correct, right? And so I know the part that I'm looking for is here in controller parts. So then I can come over and find controller parts, click here, and we've got an exploded view. And you can see here, we've got this knob. This is broken. Then there's, I don't know, some sort of a housing or a thing, and then there's another board. This is probably our actual control piece. The nice thing here is we've got these part numbers. This is probably a retainer clip, but 2037 we know is broken on this. 2050 may be broken, don't really know until we'll pull it apart. And this 260E is probably the controller itself. But what we want is we want these part numbers. So then you can scroll down here, and 2037, right at the top, bestseller. I'm going to guess that breaks a lot. It's only $9, so that's not bad. We're going to add that to our cart. And then we wanted, let's look at this 2050. 2050. Of course, there's no way to search for these things real easily that I've found. So you just kind of have to do the scroll. 260E, if you recall, is this control board here. So if I need it And it's going to be 60 bucks, of course. 2050. 2050, yep. A range control board support. Don't really know what that is, but looks like it's this plastic housing. This ring here is what's broken on mine as well. So I'll get these ordered and then we'll take the stove apart and get them replaced.
Took about 3 days to get here, but the parts came in. Pretty sure that this is the piece that's broken, and maybe only this. So let's take a look at that existing one and see if we can understand a little bit better how it works now that we have a full piece in our hand. If you look at how this guy works, if I turn it, it's still clicking with the detent. But what's important is to look at that metal piece down inside there. As I rotate, see there's a flat spot on it. So if we look at this, this goes on there and it's positional. These are probably those detents, so there's something in here that's causing it to click. This is obviously what broke off. So this is what holds the knob. But that piece, turning that metal, I guess, post, it's just like one of these coming off the control board. That's what actually controls it. And so the fact that this clicks doesn't matter. It's that it isn't turning that metal post. If that metal post turned, I suspect that this oven would work. So I believe that this is the only piece I'm going to need. That other box I probably don't need. Of course, that other box probably cost 20 bucks. This I think was 10, and then it was about 15 for shipping. So looking at it now that I have everything, I'm pretty certain that this is the only thing that needs to get replaced. Let's get it apart and see what we can find. I've not had the pleasure of taking this thing apart yet. Pretty much every other LG appliance I own I have, but this one's new. We've got a screw here. There are a couple here. One here. And then there's several of them up underneath in here. Looks like they're all Phillips screws, so we'll go get a screwdriver or the impact driver and pull all those out. Well, it's still not obvious to me what's holding it together. My next guess is that maybe this face plate, it comes off and the control board and everything is still mounted to the stove. So I'm going to pull these knobs off, take out these screws and any other screws in there, and see if that lets it pull out. Alright, that got it. So there was one over here and one over here that needed to come off. The four that hold this box in did not need to come out. Let's get that thing out of there and take a look. Alright, looks like we have to disassemble this. The hope is that this board is still fine, because this board is like $90. But, like I say, I think that it's fine. I think this box is fine. I think it's just this piece. In fact, I can probably just pull that off. Nothing else seems to be broken or cracked. So I'm just going to put the new knob back on here to replace this. And then just connect it and see if turning it turns the oven on. I hear it doing something. That's good enough. I'm just going to reassemble it. Yep, that's working. Now I just need to reassemble this back onto the front of the stove and make sure everything works. When you're putting this back together, be careful. These are just self-tappers. You'll strip those holes out real easily. Make sure you get all the wires tucked back up into there. Alright, I took it apart. Had to get those wires back up in. Thing to note, the 2 screws that come in from the bottom here, put those in while you have this up on the countertop. Otherwise it's real pain to see the hole to go through. So assemble those 2 before you get it up here. That still works. And that now works again. There we go. Fixed stove. Thanks for watching.